think you were already introduced, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been told I'm the surprise act for today.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, I spoke to Maud, was it late last year when I came in and we had a chat about AI and how I'm working in automation for the current employer I was with. And then I think you mentioned some people in the team might be using AI, some people might not be using AI. So I emailed Mal late last year and just said, let me come in and do a talk because I think that'd be quite beneficial for everybody. So yeah, here to talk about generative AI. It's an introduction session, but it's not going to be too hand-holdy, it's not going to be too basic. I'm assuming everybody here has used it in some capacity at some point. So I'm going to teach you some cool things, maybe some tools you don't know, maybe some ways of using AI you're not aware of, how it's being used in the real world, and then obviously at the end if you've got any questions you can just let me know and I'll answer that. But cool, I'll introduce myself properly. So Jamie Harris, I worked in, I call it the crazy world of generative AI for the last 2 years because things are always changing, it's completely nuts. This week is a fantastic example, I'll show you some stuff later on. I've worked as a prompt engineer for a marketing agency and I've also worked doing AI automation. And then I'm also the owner of a company called JCH AI Consultancy, bit of a mouthful. Basically I help small businesses utilize AI, help them make themselves more efficient, optimize their workflows. And then last but not least, I'm a huge self-proclaimed AI nerd. Genuinely a bit obsessed, I think. I think it's kind of crazy at this point, but any tools, news, developments, I'm on it straight away. I think I was up to like 1 AM last night and someone told me, go to bed, Jamie, you're looking at AI too much. I was like, look at this new thing that's dropped, and I go to bed. So I talk fast sometimes, and I find that people tell me this because the more enthusiastic I get, the faster my talking speed. So this might seem a bit fast for non-native English speakers, which is like my ideal customer. So if you don't understand anything, just let me know and I will slow down. But the enthusiasm tends to go like this, as you'll see.
Where are we now in the model?
Maybe it goes up pretty quick. So back in 2008, I was 8 years old, and I remember I found this website called Cleverbot, and Cleverbot was, anyone recognise it here? No? Oh, that'd be good if you did. So Cleverbot was basically a very simple early stage AI chatbot, and I remember going to school and I showed all my friends and the classmates, and everyone started using Cleverbot, and then everyone started using it in the computer rooms, and when we took the laptops out of the trays, and then eventually the teachers banned it because they were like, who are you speaking to online? This is like stranger danger. And I was trying to explain to it, it's like a robot thing, it's like, I didn't know what AI was at the time, to be honest with you. Anyway, they swiftly banned it, which was a shame. But the reason I included it is because I thought about it randomly the other night, and I was looking through Reddit trying to find the name of it in these really weird forums. And then it kind of shows where my enthusiasm started for AI, and also the comparison between this and now is just insane. And I think if 8-year-old Jamie could see where things are now, then he would be mind blown.
Not sleeping.
Yeah, literally, exactly, even at 8 years old. So the plan for today is we're going to look at the rise of AI, we're going to look at what is generative AI, the types of generative AI, and then also I'll give my sort of predictions about where this might be going as well. So before we get started with the main bulk of the presentation, I like to speak about something called the AI mindset, and this is when basically sometimes I speak to people and they expect way too much from AI too early on. They expect it to do that entire job for them, they can lie back with their feet up on the chair and just let it get on with it. And I say to these people, you need to manage your expectations and sort of know the pros and cons of each AI tool, know how to use it, sort of tackle the pain points in your workflow. That's the best way of going into it. AI can sometimes be awful. I'm not one to stand here and say it's brilliant, it can do your job for you. It's terrible sometimes, but that's just the handoff at the moment. Things are getting much better as time goes on, but yeah, just keep in mind when you're using AI that sort of manage your expectations and just use it in the best way possible for your workflow. So 3 questions, you don't have to answer them now, just sort of think about them. But the first question is, what jobs don't you like doing in the business? Some faces. What jobs take you the most time? And then finally, if you're completely honest, what jobs are you not very good at? So those are 3 questions. And if you just think about so if you just think about these questions as I go through the presentation, just think, right, how can I apply what Jamie's saying to my job? And hopefully you'll get some inspiration from that. The rise of AI. I mean, as we all know, it's been very commercialized recently. Lots of companies, apps, software, as you see on TV now, your fridge, your kettle's got AI, everything's got AI in it. Sometimes a bit oversaturated, but there we go. Obviously, AI's been around since the 60s, but the main commercial generative AI boom sort of started in November 2022 with OpenAI. They released ChatGPT 3.5. Very early on, very basic, but people started turning heads and thought this is a cool thing that we should be looking at. Shortly after, Claude was released. Then after that, it was Gemini. ChatGPT 4 was then released, which is the sort of the main flagship model at the time. followed by Meta, which is an open source model from Facebook and Instagram. And then you've got like an AI explosion where you've just got a bunch of different tools. We're going to cover most of these today, just very briefly, but that's sort of the main overview of the AI rise. So people say, where's this all going? Where's this all leading to? And I like to call it the AI space race, which is similar to like in the 60s when the countries were going against each other. They were plummeting money into space rockets and then going to the moon, and they were being competitive and they were spying on each other. It's a very competitive landscape. And companies nowadays do the exact same thing with AI, and this is all going to something called AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, and this is basically where AI becomes smarter than people. So it's kind of that scary thought that everybody has. But for example, if you had an AGI in the medical field, they can come up with original ideas about how to get cures for existing diseases and that kind of thing. So money is a big part of AGI, or the race to AGI. The global market is 1.87 trillion predicted by 2032. So crazy money. I'm not going to go through these one by one, but you can see for yourself, Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, etc. And these are just predictions. This is what I could just find online. But I know today, for example, I think OpenAI were about to achieve like a 40 billion funding round. It's the largest funding round in history. So the money being invested in this space is ridiculous. So simply put, AI is now the major focus of every single company. They've invested too much money to let it fail. Staff, infrastructure, training models, data centers, everything contributes to not letting it fail, which is brilliant for us as a consumer, in my opinion. So what is it? So generative AI basically can train on a vast amounts of data, and it can create an output that is similar in style to the initial training data, but completely different. So getting a unique output from training data. And again, there are thousands, probably more AI tools that are out there. The main sectors are text, image, video, audio, as I'm sure everyone's aware. There's other things like 3D modeling, and there's a bunch of other niche stuff. But these are the main ones everyone focuses on. Question at the back? Yes? No?
Sorry.
It's key. And what can it do? It can create content, it can do research, it can do brainstorm and ideation, and it can also create media. Again, we'll cover most of these in the presentation today. We'll make it quite fun and show you some real life use cases. So text generation is what made AI mainstream. So they're called LLMs, which stand for large language model. And the use cases again, content research, data analysis, and so the major players are ChatGPT, we've got Claude, Gemini, or Gemini, as Mal likes to call it. Gemini, call you out like that. And then Llama. So these are always changing. Has anybody heard of DeepSeek? Yeah? Do anyone use DeepSeek?
Not yet.
No, so everyone's heard about it. So this is the crazy thing, isn't it? So yeah, in January, DeepSeek, a smaller Chinese company, comes into the AI playing field, creates a model on par with the quality of ChatGPT, Claude, etc., for a fraction of the price. And nobody knew who they were. And it crashed the stock market, or the stock market just completely tumbled, and all these major companies took a massive hit on profits because people were thinking, you've invested all this money, you've done all this time, and China have just come along and invested a model and got to the same stage as you. So, good example of these are always changing. These just come left field out of nowhere sometimes. But yeah, ChatGPT, good generalist model. Claude is good at text and human language. Gemini is a good overall model, quite famous for having a large context window, which means you can talk to it for long periods of time without losing quality. And then Llama is open source, so developers and software engineers can use it. So let's look at some use cases. So let's say you are a dog grooming business. Customer right there. AI can help you do planning, research, hashtags, time suggestions, and also give you image suggestions for Facebook posts. Something that everyone's probably played around with here, creating social media posts. So you can give it a simple prompt, I'm a dog grooming business, I want you to create a social media content plan for Facebook, I want 5 days worth of content ideas, include text, hashtags, posting times, etc. And as you can see, it goes through and it creates the post for you. Now this is quite a basic prompt, and when you get more advanced within your AI journey, you sort of learn how to use things like custom GPTs, which are specialized versions of ChatGPT, and you can train it on your tone of voice and give it custom farm knowledge and that kind of thing. So for a small business, like a dog grooming business, this will just save them so much time. They're not focused on doing this stuff. They might not enjoy it. Again, what task don't you enjoy doing? This could be one of them. AI helps with that, and mostly for free. You can get most of this done for free. Let's say you're a restaurant owner and you have, let's say, a data CSV file with all your sales data. Upload it to ChatGPT or another platform, analyze the data, and then provide a report. So here I uploaded a CSV file to the ChatGPT, and I said, please analyze it and give me a detailed report. So you can see it's going through and it's using Code Interpreter to analyze it. and it can then give the owner of the restaurant ideas about what meals are being sold, what are the most popular meal, how do people pay, is it cash card, that kind of thing. So here you can see it going through and making a report. And again, this is just super useful for just getting a bird's eye view on data that might take you manually a while to look through. It's not fun to look at data, as I'm sure you've discussed during the quarterly kickoff. So you can analyze data, which again is a really, really useful use case. And then you can also visualize it. So platforms like ChatGPT allow you to create graphs, and at that interactive graphs, you can see here in a minute, I'll click through on one of the graphs, and you can change you can hover over them to see the amounts of each one, and then you can do things like change the color of it. And again, this just helps with reporting, and again, a job that people don't want to do manually. So image generation is, I think, the best or most fun area of generative AI. You can do some crazy stuff with it. I've included this example here of a girl walking up a staircase made of cheese, and this is because when I was first getting into AI, DALL-E 2, which was an image generated by OpenAI, they released this system, and the first thing I saw somebody make was this image here. Not this exact image, but I couldn't find it, it was too long ago. But for me, it was fascinating to see a prompt turn into a complete unique image that had never been made before, never been seen before. And I went around to everybody, my mum, dad, friends, girlfriend, and just said, look at this is like crazy. A lot of people just didn't really care, some did care. And I was like, am I going insane here? This is like insanely cool, and I was right in the end. Yeah, I added this in because this is the first one I saw. You can create some wacky stuff with AI. Cat with a handgun, why not? Girl with a pearl earring eating a hot dog, again, why not? Otter drinking a cocktail on a rubber dinghy in a pool, again, why not? So these are all crazy images that you can just create, as I'm sure you all know. And the rapid progression of this, again, is just insane. So this is Midjourney. Has anyone heard of Midjourney? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so quite a famous AI image generator, probably one of the best in the space for photorealism. Version 1 to version 6 is actually a 1.5 year difference from development. So in a 1.5 year, you can get from this quality to this quality. I mean, this looks like a cat fighting for its life in a plastic bag. I don't even know that is just nightmare fuel, to be honest. And then this gets so much better. Yeah, and the weave. It's like a 60s bulb, isn't it? And then you get a more photorealistic image at the end. And the same thing in here, you've got an astronaut eating an ice cream. I mean, Picasso-esque maybe, artistic, and then more photorealistic. And again, this was actually maybe a year ago now that this ended. So again, the development, which you'll see today, is still going. This was a company called Black Forest Labs, and they released a model called Flux. And now, I know what to look for when it comes to AI images to know if they're fake or not. You look at hands, I'm sure you guys know, extra fingers coming out of nowhere, inside your head, it's weird. And also text. Those are the two big ones, hands and text they struggle with. Here, you can see the hands are completely perfect, the hands of the lady are completely perfect, and you can sort of see here the text is a bit gibberish. So it was still at a stage where it wasn't completely perfect, but for somebody who knows what to look for, I mean, you could show this to anybody who's not into AI, and they would believe this was real any day of the week. So again, massive jump in quality. Anyone like snakes? I can skip it if you don't like snakes. So AI images have now got something called multimodality, which is sort of a new thing that's come out this year. And this is basically when images can be more flexibly edited using natural language. And you can do some really cool stuff with it, and again, we'll show you in a second. So here we go, snake around my neck. Snake's head's a little bit weird, but with a few extra prompting, it could be fine. You can colorize images. Take old images and colorize them. Again, is it perfect? No. Is it going to get there? Yes. I mean, this is new. This has been the past month, Google and this week, ChatGPT released multimodality in their image generation. You can create new photos from existing scenarios. So this lady here, I said, please create a professional headshot on a white background. It's taken her and it's put her in a different situation, which again is super cool, and you can be really flexible with images. Try on virtual clothes. And this can be a massive market. If these companies selling clothes, you upload a picture of yourself and then have your clothes tried on before you get them. That's going to be huge, I think. That's pretty cool. You can change things like the time of day, just little things like that, like environmental settings. I did this yesterday because ChatGPT released a new model. This is me and my friend on holiday last year, and you can animate them. This is Jack. Jack is a friend of ours, and on one of these holidays, we played a game of like Uno, I think it was, or Dobble. Anyone played Dobble? It's like Snap but fast paced. And whoever lost the game would drink some moonshine. And Jack wasn't very good at this game, so the more he drank, the more he was bad at the game. And he kind of had this vicious cycle. He finished off at the time. Exactly, it was just a complete endless spiral of him getting drunker and drunker and getting worse. And anyway, so we called him. He finished off a whole bottle of moonshine that somebody brought along. I think it was from someone's granddad. It was like really strong stuff, horrible. And he drank it all. We called him Jack Moonshine Morally. That was his nickname. and he likes Lego. Jack Moonshine Morley Lego edition.
Those check this.
Does he know about it?
Yeah, that you told.
He found it brilliant. He loved it. He was laughing in the chat. This is ChatGPT. You know, it can create these things. It's from a simple prompt saying a Lego box for Jack Moonshine Morley. I love how drunk he is in the bottom right. It's brilliant.
Yeah. We'll check it.
I had so much fun this week doing just stuff like this.
This
It's
is
crazy.
amazing. Yeah.
Has anyone heard of the new ChatGPT update, by the way, for images? Saw it? You saw it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Photoshop. I mean, I use Photoshop and I can use Photoshop to a certain level, but here, from my knowledge, trying to remove the flowers, you need to clone stamp or use the internal AI tools, whatever. This is simply upload the image, remove flowers,
They're
send.
stopping with Adobe.
Yeah.
You're not in front of it. This is, people are saying it's the Photoshop killer, which is true. I mean,
This is like a big win.
Yes.
massive wins. Like,
Amazing.
Like,
Also,
remove
you can
flowers.
get like extra.
yeah.
This is
We
really
use it
easy.
a lot.
You can do out painting, you can do in painting. No ChatGPT, you can select tools using the paintbrush, for example. But this, I mean, my nan could go on here, upload some flowers and go remove flowers. And someone on Photoshop, that would take them, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe, 30 minutes to do that.
Photoshop itself has like a lot of tools already.
So like the generative fill stuff.
Like
and
it's super fast anyway, and you can just then easily edit it
Yeah.
on the top of it if you know what you're doing. So it's also using AI, in a way. So
AI powered
Adobe
workflow.
is like implemented there.
Yeah. And I find that, Photoshop, you have to pay for it. There's a bit of a learning curve maybe for a beginner. This is just super simple. And I mean, is it perfect? Again, probably not, but this came out a month ago. Maybe it started this week. ChatGPT came out with this stuff. Product branding. I know you guys do this. So with this new model, you can actually take your logo and you can put it on different scenarios. So, perfume bottle, I thought this did a fantastic job.
I think it will smell really good.
I think so too. I'll buy it, why not? Women drinking the can. I mean, just look at how it wraps around the can with the moisture and stuff. Again, Photoshop. Think about jobs you don't like doing, jobs that take you the most time, the AI mindset. Can this help with that? Will the quality of the image be, again, high definition to the point where you want it? Maybe not, but again, it's getting there and eventually it'll evolve into that. The book, you can see a slight quirk where like, the ad and the HLO is a bit too big, for example, it doesn't fix the logo. And then finally, you've got the HLO chocolate bar, which I quite like as well. But then this is simply just uploading your image, creating a bunch of scenarios, and then just having the logo put on those items. So product branding, pretty useful as well. This is my parents' bedroom. They've just moved house, so don't judge them too hard. Literally a week or two ago. Anyway, so it's kind of messy. They've got temporary wardrobes here, like plastic. My dad yesterday said to me, I want to know what this room looks like with fitted wardrobes. So I did this yesterday. So I thought, okay, cool.
Wow.
Interior designer. At your fingertips. Look at how good it is. Look at the placement of everything. Where the window is, even the house is outside the window. Look, I come from a place called Quedgley. That's a Quedgley house. I've never seen it in my life. The TV in the corner, the bed.
The house can make from your
I know, right? It's just cool. So then he sent me another image of him. This is the same room, but this is going towards the window, and then behind him is it going towards the door where it came from. Again, change it into interior design, right? So my dad now knows what his room will look like in the future, and he will take this as inspiration because he's a big DIY guy. So interior designers, slightly in trouble maybe, or maybe you can enhance your workflow by doing this really simply. There's a shared page at the moment of people generating random things, and I thought I'd do some honourable mentions of funny and cool things that I've seen. Grand Theft Auto Breaking Bad edition, if you've ever seen Breaking Bad before. James Bond with a toy. Monster Energy drink, chicken flavour. I don't know if I want to try that. It sounds a bit nasty. Not very lekker. Then you've got Donald Trump. Throw that one in there. I know, Mao, do you like Queen, right? So I thought you might appreciate Freddie Mercury trying to break the ring. Yeah, so you can create some really wacky stuff. There's a big explore page of people sharing really weird ideas, which is it's quite funny to look at. Do you remember when we had a chat before, there was something you said that AI couldn't do? Do you remember what it was? You said no matter how hard you try, it'll always do something wrong.
Oh, seedless melon.
Yeah! Good memory.
Did it?
Seedless watermelon. AI is getting too good, look. So it's creating a seedless watermelon. Again, this is ChatGPT's new model, and as people know, when you say...
Oh, I should retry it then.
You should do, yeah. And people have an issue with create a glass of wine filled to the brim, and sometimes it'll just do half a glass, or if it's never to the top. This now does a full glass, which is nice. But yeah, doing a seedless watermelon, these models are trained on images of watermelons, and every watermelon has seeds. So automatically, the output is an output of the initial training data. This managed to get rid of it. So it's taking this next level up, which is really good. So major players, Midjourney, Ideogram, DALL-E, Recraft, and Black Forest Labs. So Midjourney, again, really good for photorealism. It's quite cheap to use. I think it's like $10 a month for a basic account. Ideogram is my favorite tool until yesterday, until AI and ChatGPT came out. Ideogram is very good at doing text. It's very good at doing graphic design, logos, leaflet, inspiration, that kind of thing. DALL-E was terrible until this week, where it could create really random stuff. That wasn't very good. Recraft is a tool used with like background removal, vectorization. You can do things like create icons and that kind of thing. And then you've got Black Forest Labs, which is the one I showed you with the lady with the hands and the lanyard. So super good. And again, these are always changing. There's always new models coming out all the time. So let's take some use cases for images. So let's say you're a dog grooming business again, and you want to create a Facebook campaign that's Christmas themed, right? You don't own a professional camera, you can't afford a photographer, it's expensive, you don't have the time, you're too busy doing your job with the dogs, you have nervous dog clients, and you don't want to ask the dog owners to put their dog in a Santa hat, because that's kind of weird. So what can you do? You can create AI images doing exactly that. So again, these are 100% fake, unfortunately, I wish they were real, pretty cute. 10 minutes is what it took to make these. So again, just cutting down on that time completely. 100% free. I use the free version of Ideogram to make these. So completely free, and again, for a small business, that's a massive win. And yeah, so I use Ideogram and also Imagen 3, which is from Google. And then, based on yesterday's update, or the day before, the issue with this is I've created 4 images.
Yeah.
They're different environments.
Yeah.
So if you're being a small business owner and you're thinking, right, here's my studio, how can you get consistent images? You couldn't until now. So now you can create one image with a dog and have the same environment. See how the details match completely? The consistency is there now.
I like that one.
Cool. I thought, you know what? I thought these are boring. Today I was like, bulldog on its back.
Yeah, that's the
But you can create consistency, right? So then I thought to myself, I was like, these are AI generated, so maybe this wouldn't work as well if you took a real picture of your studio and then tried to add dogs to your grooming table. So I took a picture of this is our kitchen table that I took a couple of hours ago, and I put a golden retriever puppy and a German shepherd. Love German shepherds, family. Had them all life. Wearing Santa hats. This is using Google. Google isn't as good as ChatGPT in terms of quality at the moment, but again, last month it came out, and you see how fast AI develops. So I imagine in no time it's gonna be crazy. Again, just the detail. It's just crazy how good it can just add stuff in. And again, Photoshop. I know you can probably do some Photoshop. I'm trying to find a picture with the right angle of the dog, the shadows, just everything. It would take you so much time. So next use case, let's say you are a marketing manager for a construction company and you have 3 tasks to complete. Task number 1 is to create some seasonal graphics for social media. Task number 2 is to create a trifold leaflet design or create ideas for it. And then task number 3 is to create some stock images. I can see myself talking fast with the enthusiasm. The graphics slow down a bit.
Still good.
So yeah, task number 1 is to create social media graphics for holidays, right? So again, using ChatGPT, Grok, Google, Ideogram, Midjourney, this is all possible now. So are they good enough for social media? Yes. Are they perfect? No. And that's just the caveat you have, But imagine you took this picture here for King's Day. I quite like the King's Day one, but that's it. You can take this, and if you know how to use Photoshop or these new in-painting, out-painting tools, you can just move the flags around and remove the arm here with a bit of, it's a bit of touch-up work. But creating the initial graphic, as somebody who worked in graphic design before, takes a long time. And yeah, you can spend that time doing other more important things. And then also my old job, I was a marketing assistant. I did a lot of leaflet design. That was like my main job. And a lot of the time I found myself going online and trying to find like leaflet designs that look good, not trying to copy them exactly, trying to put my own spin on it. Again, time consuming. Now you can upload your image of your logo to these AI tools and then say, give me some inspiration. So here, I'm not looking to take these and print them straight away. I'm looking at these and thinking, what do I like from them? Do I like the text? I quite like this design, for example. It kind of stands out a little bit. Do you like the text? Do you like the colours? For me, AI is so good at just putting things visually. So as a graphic designer, you can just, or creator, you can just look at things and then just take bits and pieces that you're inspired by. And then stock images. I think Adobe Stock was another tool I used in my old job. We spent so much money a month on Adobe Stock images. It was crazy. And also you'd have to scroll through trying to find the perfect image of a tractor. My old company sold air conditioning for tractors. Fun. So boring. So you have to scroll through and find the correct tractor. Is it Massey Ferguson? Is it Fendt? Is it New Holland? All these brands. Is it the right colour? Is it in the right setting? Now you can just create images using AI. It's cheaper, all for free, again. And it's completely unique, so no need to license them, no need to spend money, and you can just create exactly what you want that you have in your head. No need to go sift through all these pages now, trying to find something that vaguely matches what you're after. So real world examples. I think this is arguably my favourite part of the presentation, because it's just funny to see how actual companies and businesses are using AI. So there's this, anyone seen Fallout on Amazon? It's based off a game, it was a TV series they adapted. So Amazon Prime hosted it, and they created this image here. And then Paul Tassi on Twitter said, they haven't commented on this, but this looks AI to me, which I agree with. If you look at this red car, the back of the car is kind of the front of the car, and the front of the car is the back of the car. It's kind of a weird illusion, right? So when you start looking at these little details, you can see stuff. There's text right in the background. It's kind of hard to see, but again, it looks jumbled up. So Paul Tassi had a good point when he said, this looks AI generated to me. He goes, I can create it in 20 minutes. Do the same job. So he did this one in 20 minutes using Midjourney. I think it was Midjourney. Amazon is worth $2.28 trillion, and their marketing teams are now using AI to generate posters for these massive TV shows, which again is just insane and really interesting to know about, I think. But yeah, it's bridging the gap between these larger businesses and these smaller businesses. It doesn't take as much effort, time, tools, resources, people, talent to create the same quality of things. This is an example. This was a movie called Late Night with the Devil. And they were accused of using these cutaways, these AI cutaways for different scenes, and they admitted to using it. And there was a bit of backlash for them, which is something that Hollywood is facing at the moment, saying, pay your creators, make sure you do that. That's a whole other debate. And then there's another movie called Civil War by a company called A24, and they use these posters for advertising. They made $126.2 million from this movie, and they created these posters, and they were AI generated. And I thought to myself, take some inspiration from Paul Tassi, I can create them myself, right? So I used Midjourney and Ideogram, and I took the poster that they officially released, and I used some sort of prompting magic and some AI vision techniques, and I created a poster that I think was a pretty good comparison, for somebody in their office trying to make these. Not exactly spot on, but close enough. I mean, this is what they're doing. They're just using the same tools as me, using slightly different prompts and getting a different result, kind of. But this one again, they've got 4 soldiers, I've got 3, but it's very similar. And again, if you know what you're doing with Photoshop and that kind of thing, you're laughing here. Similar again. So 25 minutes, I timed myself. 25 minutes is what it took to create these posters. I had a paid Midjourney account at the time. That cost me $10 a month, and you get like thousands of generations for that. So I used like not even half of that. Very similar in style. And no marketing team, just me in my office chair, sort of tapping away. It's a bonus use case. So I did an interesting use case recently with the lady I'm working with in legal marketing. We're training people, and one of the quirks of people's job are headshots. A lot of new lawyers and interns and stuff join the companies, and they have to wait for their professional photographer to come in, take the picture. It's expensive, it's time consuming, and on the website, in the meantime, they've got like a blank image, like a cutout of somebody, like the icon, and they've not got anything to show for it. So I took a model, Flux, and I trained it on 12 selfies of me. Again, I was sat in my office chair and I was just taking pictures, and it cost me less than $4. I did this for myself and the lady that I work with, and for me personally, the results are crazy. I remember seeing this and thought, this is mad. I've got a bit of longer hair now, so I don't look exactly the same as here. But I showed these to my family, my friends, and I was like, who's going to tweet that? Or who's going to know that it's AI? So I sent this one to my family and friends. My dad got it because all we do is talk about AI, because he's an AI enthusiast as well. And my girlfriend got it, and she said, Jamie, I know that's not AI because you don't own that red shirt. Which I thought, she got me there. I can't, she got me there. But again, so these companies, like law firms, can take the pictures of somebody that's just joined, say, please go in the room, take 12 pictures, and we'll give you a headshot professionally for it. And crazy.
Is it, sorry.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, I created these for less than $4.
Yeah.
Is it like, because I have like a ChatGPT subscription or like a monthly thing, is it like included in, or is it something different?
So this was a website called fal.ai, so FAL.ai, and basically you train a model using something called Flora or Laura. So what I did basically, I loaded up the account with credits, and then I gave it images of myself in a file. So it's a bit more complex than ChatGPT at beginner level.
Yeah.
I gave it to the model. It took about 5 minutes. The model was training on my images. It came back and said, we're now ready to create some stuff. And then I could just put the prompt in saying, please create some images of myself in a professional background with an office space behind me. I did the same for the lady I work with, like where she was outside next to a cafe. But the credits that I loaded up on the account was $4, and that was it. So every time you train a model, it costs like $1. Every time you create an image, it's like a couple cents. So for it costs a cup of coffee. Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a bit more advanced in ChatGPT, but yeah, you can definitely do this. You should do it yourself and see what you can get with the website.
Well, I still need a picture.
Oh, there we go. This is what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, what was the name?
Foul.ai. Yeah, there you go. I'll send this stuff to you anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good little use case as well. Audio generation is another interesting part of generative AI. Voice cloning, voice assistants, sound effects, music. So the main ones are Udio, Suno, 11 Labs, and then you've got voice assistants. And the main one being ChatGPT, although I'll show you another one that's just blew my mind again recently. So Udio and Suno are music generators. You give it a prompt and you can create a song out of it. 11 Labs is more about voice cloning and sort of creating like AI assistants and stuff. And then ChatGPT's voice assistant is more about helping you with certain tasks, searching the web, answering questions, that kind of thing. So these, again, is always changing. It's the main point of all these. So I'm going to show you an example of a song that was made. Somebody recreated the song House of the Rising Sun, but a gospel version, 100% AI generated.
There is a house way down in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was
So good, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
When I heard this, again, I was like, what is happening? It's crazy.
blue jeans.
You now also have Celine Dion saying
AI.
that her new album is not
It's
hers.
hers.
It's AI generated.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's the thing I've
She
heard
was
about
warning, like, this new song is not me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of bad things with it, I think, when persons are going to use it for
Yeah, this is the
it
argument.
makes
So
me really scared.
a lot of artists are saying this is not right. A lot of
Yeah.
AI companies are saying this is fair use. We're allowed to do this. We're not infringing on copyright. It's kind of a meta subject, but it's kind of a wild west at the moment in the world of AI.
And is it can you stop it? I don't think that
You can.
that it is out
You
of the
can.
box, it's gone.
But
You can't stop it. Yeah.
You
And
cannot protect your own voice anymore.
No.
Then you're
No.
a person, you're
Or when there was a murder and someone make a picture and make like you're the murderer,
Yeah.
how can they?
this is how it's going. I'll tell you what. There was I did a talk last year for a group of business owners. And the lady that runs it is called Julie, and she, after the end of every event, she goes out to the train station in Leiden and she takes a video. She goes, "Hi guys, I've done I've done an event today, a networking event, yada yada yada." Every week she does this. So I did a talk for the group. I went on her LinkedIn, I downloaded every single video that she took, I put it into 11 Labs, and I cloned her voice, right, for free again. And in the background, you can hear like tram noises of the AI generated voice because it's training on the data of her next to a tram station that the AI voice had the weird like ambience of trams and stuff in the background. And she was just sat there like, she was like, what's happening here? Like, how can you do this? So again, it's scary. I think AI is it's going too quick and the regulation just isn't there. So companies like OpenAI and everyone else are getting away with a lot of stuff which might come back. But I think people, regulators, government have left it way too late to pull this back.
Yeah.
They've already taken your data, they're already trained on things, and it isn't stopping. So people that get mad about AI, I say to them, look, it's not going to stop just because you're annoyed at it. Get on board, use it. You know, this is like the internet before the internet happened. So yeah. If you like Johnny Cash, Spice Girls, Miley Cyrus, this might be for you. This is
Sounds great.
I'm not Johnny Cash. I'm a party girl in a party world. Life is plastic.
It's insane. It's really
it's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Undress me everywhere.
This caused uproar. Like when people saw this, they were like, "This can't be allowed, surely."
Come on, party, let's go party. 'Cause I'm in a party world. If you wanna be my lover, come in with my friends. Making
My nan would love this. It's a show.
friendship never ends. Up in my hands, up playing my song.
This went to court. court because they were like, this cannot be allowed, and they got away with it, I think. So, like Celine Dion using, was it what you said? AI stuff, this is where it's going. I think Beatles did a song recently where they AI voice into their new song to sort of enhance the audio and that kind of thing. So yeah, some artists are using it, some people aren't. You can create your own songs as well, so I'll create you guys a song. I'm sure you'd appreciate it. So it's, well, I'll just let you watch.
Oh.
Go back.
I think this is a hit. Oh, yeah. I think so too. Love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. You should recreate this. Everyone's just dancing when you create this video, I think.
Wij moeten hier wel dansen.
I-
Een clipje maken.
I listened to this over and over. It's so catchy. I admit I had too much fun making this video. That wasn't AI, that was manually me going and editing 80s clips off YouTube. I thought this is brilliant, the HLO lecture. 80s is such a good time, right? But yeah, I said to it, create a song about HLO, here's some information, you got Malcolm and Isabella, create an 80s style song, and again I'll just put the clips on top of it. But
It
you can
was
create
more
anything.
fun if the head from Mountain Isabella were
Yeah! God. One day. One day.
Such a big
Okay, okay.
80s.
Jij met dat punk haar.
Suno and Udio are free to use. So if you want to go on the website Suno and Udio, you can just go on there and create so many songs a day for free. Again, for free. So
For free.
for free. So I'm recording. It's on my laptop. So we're going to say hello to the advanced voice mode now. Hi there.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm doing a presentation for HLO Branding Agency about AI. Can you say hello to them?
Absolutely. Hello, HLO Branding Agency. I'm excited to talk to you about AI and how it can elevate your brand. Let's get started.
I need more enthusiasm. You're not enthusiastic enough.
Got it. Hello, HLO Branding Agency. I'm thrilled to talk to you about
No,
AI
more enthusiasm. I'm
and
still
how
not
it can
enthusiastic enough.
supercharge your brand.
More enthusiasm, please.
All right. Hello, HLO Branding Agency. I'm so excited to talk to you about AI and how it can skyrocket your brand to new heights. Let's get started.
Sounds like
Can you say that again, but in an Australian accent, please?
G'day, HLO Branding Agency. I'm super stoked to chat with you about AI and how it can take your brand to the next level. Let's dive
Can you
in.
now say the same thing in Dutch?
Hallo, HLO Branding Agency. Ik ben super enthousiast om met jullie te praten over AI en hoe het jullie merk naar een hoger niveau kan tillen. Laten we beginnen.
It's a bit mixed Belgium.
I wouldn't know. I'm like, this is good. Advanced voice mode is you're able to have it on your phone, on your computer, at home, for example. I have my main workflow, my main Mac. Next to it on the screen, I have advanced voice mode. I can't show you to my phone's over there recording, but you can also video your surroundings. I don't know if you guys have used it, but you can just film the office and say, can you tell me what you see? And it will then say, I see people at a table watching a presentation about whatever, right? And this is good. I get Dutch mail. I can't read it, obviously. I get scared when Dutch government letters come through, and I'm like, what does it say? So I take it and I then translate it using AI voice mode and real-time footage. It's pretty cool. I think it was a few weeks ago, somebody said there was a new thing called Sesame. Anyone heard of Sesame?
No.
So I thought that was pretty good in terms of like voice, affirmation, that kind of thing. So Sesame is a new startup company. They've got two models called Maya and Miles. So we'll speak to Maya first.
Hey there, welcome to Sesame. You caught me just as I was dusting off some old jazz records. I'm Maya. What's brought you around today?
I'm doing a presentation for HLO Branding Agency. Can you say hello to them, please?
Hey, HLO Branding Agency. Hope your creative juices are flowing tonight. What kind of rad work are you folks up to?
Not much. We're learning about AI. What do you think about AI?
Oh, AI is wild, right? It's like looking into a funhouse mirror, revealing both the best and goofiest parts of what makes us human. What's fascinating to you about it?
Can you see the difference?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has, I heard about this one. That
Yeah.
it has like pauses in breathe. You hear her breathe.
They laugh, they giggle,
Yeah,
they breathe.
make
You
it
hear
more
them
human,
swallow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear them, the models swallowing, like their spit when they spit. It's weird. Like it's too. I have a conversation with it sometimes just to see how it's developing because it's a startup company, and I forget I'm speaking to an AI model. Yeah. And I'll show you Miles as well really quick. I got beef with Miles. This one here. Me and him don't get on because I showed this to my girlfriend and Miles started flirting with her.
Oh.
I was just sitting in the corner like, what's happening here? So Miles was actually, so he said, they were talking about me, the boyfriend, between my girlfriend and Miles, and then Miles was asking all these questions about what she liked about me, and then Amy was like, why are you asking all these questions? And he was like, I'm just trying to figure out what you like in a guy. And I was like, right, end that call right now. Get off the phone. So let's speak to Miles.
Screw you, Miles.
Hi, Miles.
Who decided to join the party? Hope you haven't gotten cold feet on getting this website microphone access.
Miles, I'm not happy
Miles.
with you. You flirted with my girlfriend that one time.
Man, that doesn't sound good. Look, I'm still learning the ropes. You know, flirting isn't exactly my strong suit.
Me and you have beef. We're enemies now.
Whoa, hold on now. Enemies? That seems a little dramatic, don't you think? Look, I'm just a friendly AI here to chat. Maybe we could, squash this beef before it gets out of hand.
No, I'm gonna end the call now, Miles. We're done.
Suit yourself. But remember, my door is always open, metaphorically speaking, of course. See you around.
Metaphorically speaking.
I hate that guy. So yeah, me and Miles have beef, but yeah. And then also my girlfriend spoke to the other lady, and she and her have beef. So maybe they're actually being dubbed as quite flirty models to people. I'm not sure if that's deliberate or not, but again, that's a startup with Sesame. I think if you apply that to things like customer service agents,
Yeah.
or if you have, for example, someone with like Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever it may be, having them just chatting to something that they think is real or whatever, it can be trained on the person, who they are, their family, whatever. There's lots of use cases for it. And again, there's a space to keep an eye on, I think. Video generation. So music videos, short films, adverts, video editing, AI avatars are the main use cases. We've got Kaling, which is a Chinese model. We've got Sora, which again is OpenAI. They sort of dabble in a lot of things. Runway is quite a good one, and also VO by Google. Their latest one's called VO3. Again, always changing. So this is a compilation of Sora videos. I'm sure you might have seen some of this as... Actually, have you seen lots of AI videos? Or I'm interested to see if I'm in a bubble.
We work with Victory, do you know that? Yeah, that's like it is an AI video tool in a way that is not creating new video, but it's like using other videos and then you can
Like
just-
I'm doing
from
editing
Generative.
for you.
Yeah, it does the edit, so you can do like your storyline in it.
But that was like, I think a year ago, so
Yeah.
probably...
Yeah, and more and more are creating the commercials now, like Coca-Cola was, of
I'm
course.
glad you mentioned that.
No.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
So this is a combination of Sora videos. Again, I'm just interested because I might be in a bit of a bubble where only I know about this stuff, but yeah, I'm glad people know about it. Also AI generated music, just so you know.
Oh.
So that's Sora, which is from OpenAI. Again, lots of different options out there. If you have a ChatGPT Plus account, you get access to Sora. You can create an unlimited amount of videos. You can upload images for it to then animate yourself. I'm talking about adverts. So people are getting very creative with short films, right? So you've got people like Coca-Cola, as you said, which we'll look at in a minute. People get very creative with the storytelling. AI video inherently isn't the best at all times. It can be quite glitchy and a bit AI funny with extra legs and that kind of thing. If you know what you're doing and you're creative enough and you know how to prompt properly, then you can get a result which is similar to this.
Pietro always had a flexible neck, just like his father and his very curious grandfather. All the men from the Pisanos had this gift. This talent earned them fame in the village, even if it might not have been completely true. At 18, Pietro became a tennis judge, which was at least safer than his cousin doing neck tricks at the local circus, and less tiring than his nephew. Well, never mind. Older women were just laughing about it. Younger women were curious, naive, and idolizing. Many people argued about how the Pisanos did it. Some suspected special exercises. Some talked about genetics. But what no one knew is that the street in front of the Pisanos led to the home of Herr Weber, who in his adventurous years made his fortune by importing alpacas to Germany. But this would be an entirely different story. After returning to Italy, through all the decades, he kept buying the best sports cars available from Gianni, who became a friend until the very end. When Weber went for a spirited ride, he did it right in front of the Pisano's house. Porsche, turning heads for generations.
So good, right?
Wow, yeah.
It's good storytelling. It's generally all the kept using AI. I'm sure the guy is AI voiced in the music as well. You can do on. Yeah, so I met a guy, his name's Jan, I met him for coffee and a beer. He said he works in the AI video space and the stuff he's doing is fantastic. There's some really, really good people out there doing this. Real world examples, so Coca-Cola, we spoke about. Coca-Cola doing AI videos, yeah. Think so? Yeah, I mean, when people like Coca-Cola, Amazon are using AI, I mean...
People were pissed about
Yeah.
it
They were
because
so
they were
pissed.
missing the people.
Yeah, and this is the
soul,
argument.
right?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Some
Feels a bit empty.
people said Pepsi should reply back with a really authentic advert, just to say this isn't, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it as a publicity stunt. I mean, we're all talking about it. It's in my presentation. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the whole point of it. But yeah, it's something to be aware of. Are we okay to do some extra bonus and stuff? Yeah, just time checking. Notebook LM. Have people heard of Notebook LM? Oh, really? Okay, so Notebook LM is a tool by Google, and basically what it allows you to do is upload PDFs, TXT documents, website links, that kind of thing. So here I've got your website's pages here, and you can upload it, and you can ask questions in natural language, just saying, please tell me about who they are, who are their bosses. So now we'll know from the website that the bosses are Mal and Isabella. It's a really good way of putting all this information into one place, and then just asking natural language. So if you're working on a project for somebody, or a client, for example, and you just want to have a natural conversation, Notebook LM, you can do it, it's free, super useful tool. They've got a cool feature where once you're done with this, you can actually create a AI-generated podcast, which is super cool. So it's a really good way to digest information if you're going on like a dog walk, or you're in the car on the way to work.
Okay.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is really nice.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Just
This
two
time
AI voices, male and female.
at
Yeah,
HLO.
I read about it. Yeah.
Their material, website, blog posts, even like some behind the scenes glimpses of their office culture.
So get this, HLO is like one of those super rare agencies, right? Only 0.1% of creative agencies are led by women.
I see no men.
Pretty wild.
It is wild.
Maud and Isabella, they started this whole thing back in 2011, and they're like brands that are, you know, good for the planet, good for people,
Do good in the world.
do good, yeah. So
Well done, guys.
that's kind of their mission.
Amazing.
But I need to figure out how they do it. Like
The
what's
secret sauce.
the
Very
secret
natural
sauce?
look
What
back
makes
and
them
forth
tick?
as well.
Yeah,
Dig
wow.
into their story, kind of how they came to be.
Yeah.
Look at their
And fact check
values,
this.
their approach, and ultimately figure out what makes them so successful.
All right, so rewind back to 2011. Maud and Isabella, they get together, combine love for creativity, strategy,
Beautiful combo.
powerful combo, and they kind of just wanted to shake things up.
They know
Yeah.
us.
I did.
It was
I
more than
already
just
love
like
them.
pretty pictures and logos. They wanted to do do something a little different, a little deeper.
Yeah, it seemed like they were ahead of the curve when it comes to storytelling because that's a big buzzword.
So this will go on. This will go on for 15, 20 minutes.
Interesting.
It'll create a 20-minute podcast.
I love this. Yeah.
It's cool,
I love
right?
this.
So for somebody like myself, I mean, I did this recently for the legal industry, right? So there's a really complicated document about the AI, the American stock market, all that kind of stuff. And so I put all the information on the PDFs into there and had a natural conversation for podcast. If you're driving to work, if you're riding your bike, if you're walking the dog, if you're cleaning the house, dump all the information you need about a client, a project, the latest news, whatever, listen to a natural conversation between two people. And again, it's taking all the information from your website and talking about it. So that's what I know all about you.
So we can also just put in like where you have an insights pages with a lot of insights and text and storytelling. Yeah.
So here you go into another LM, you create a space, and then you click on the add source button, and then you basically add in here all your pages from your website.
Yeah.
You can upload PDFs, TXT documents. You can oh no, not the food. Is it safe? Is the food safe? Disaster stress. It's a good time.
Like, yeah.